This is the Type 1 Tribe podcast, and I am your host, Samantha Hildebrandt. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes on February 18th, 2021, and now I am sharing all of my experiences and knowledge with you. So let's go. Today's guest is someone who's redefining what it means to live boldly with type 1 diabetes. She's the founder of Hot Diabetic Club, a thriving community that's all about connection, confidence, and celebrating life with type 1 diabetes. From hosting empowering events to creating a safe space where diabetics can truly be themselves, she's built something special that goes far beyond blood sugar and insulin pumps. Please welcome the inspiring and unstoppable Tini Warner. We're diving into her journey, the story behind Hot Diabetic Club, and how she is helping turn chronic illness into community and empowerment. You have a club called the Hot Diabetic Club. What
Yes.
made you start this club and how did you get that name?
Oh, I love this because I feel like at first there's a lot of resistance to the name hot diabetic. People are like, oh, I don't know if that fits me. And so Hot Diabetic Club started, well, we officially became a club about a year and a half ago, but the name Hot Diabetic started in 2020, when everyone was kind of on that like, I can do whatever I want, like hot girl summer and that like liberation feeling like I just want to go out and live. And that is where the adaptation of hot diabetic came from, just going out and living and being free of the shackles that society puts on us as diabetics.
Yes, I love the name. I think it's great. Tell me a little bit about your diagnosis story.
I was diagnosed when I was 15, and that was hard for me being in high school, trying to navigate how do I fit in? Where do I belong? And now I have this brand new thing that I have no connection to anyone with. And so I really grappled with like, who am I? I'm this person with diabetes, but I also didn't want to claim diabetes because I didn't want it to run my life. And so I shoved it down for so long, about 6 years or so, went through all of college. Barely anyone knew I was a diabetic. And I came out of college kind of just following the rules. I got a corporate job. I did what I was supposed to. I had like good community, but people who I didn't really think saw me or knew who I was as a person. And it was very lonely, like very isolating. And so I slowly started to realize like, who am I? Who is Teeny beyond like what I've decided people need me to be? And I started slowly like peeling back my life and deciding like this is what I want to do. I want to quit my corporate job. I want to be a creative. I was an accountant. And I decided I'm good at accounting, but I hate this. Like I'm miserable. I wanted to be a creative and I wanted my people to know me and love me deeply for me. But that started with me needing to figure out who I was. And so that like journey is kind of all started because I got diagnosed with diabetes.
I mean, 6 years like being alone is a long time, and that lays on you so lonely. And you don't even, I guess at the moment, you're probably not thinking like, oh, I'm lonely, but then it hits you after a long time. You're like, okay, like I really need to share this with somebody.
Yes, exactly. And towards the end of my college experience, I met a few other diabetics, and they were actually some of the ones that were very eye-opening for me. And I was like, oh, I need to start one, taking care of myself, but two, every time I was around them, I started getting this feeling of belonging. And that was truly so special. But yeah, then like with the isolation comes the burnout, the lack of desire to take care of yourself because nobody else is doing what you need to do. And so when you peel that away and you connect with other diabetics, it's life-changing.
It is really life-changing. And I'm sure because you mentioned like this whole thing kind of started in 2020 with the Hot Diabetic Club, but I'm sure like social media has helped a lot with that as well.
Yes, and that was a big part of me discovering like I love being a creative. I was creating, I was sharing my story, connecting with other diabetics and still at my corporate job, and eventually was able to be a full-time creator and freelancer and do a whole different side of things. But when I was connecting with other diabetics, that's where I was like, ah, this is really, this feels so good. I learned so much about management, so much about myself. But I realized, like, yes, it's great that I'm willing to share my story online, but
Mhm.
not every diabetic is. And that is actually where the concept of Hot Diabetic Club started. We started just as a social club because you don't need to put yourself online to make diabetic connections.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I love that you said that because it is so true. And it may seem like everybody's sharing because now it's I feel like maybe a little bit more popular. People are sharing, but there's still many of us that don't share a lot. And that's so I think that's absolutely great. It started off as a social, and what does that entail?
Yeah, so at first we were just all coming together. We were meeting on Zoom, and I was really trying to figure out the concept of how do I bring the diabetic people together who also truly believe that we can live beyond our diagnosis. That's that hot diabetic version of it, right? Because we can go on Facebook groups, we can meet up at nonprofits, but I really wanted to bring like-minded diabetics together, the ones that are truly getting after life and the adventure and the play and just loving where they're going in their journey. And so that's who I was speaking to. And I was saying, come on, let's all get together. We had one meetup in Chicago. There was about six of us women. We had I called it Dinner with Diabetics. And that was in the beginning of 2024. And that's when I realized like in person is so beautiful, but how can I reach more diabetics when
Mhm.
I'm just one person? I'm based in Charlotte, so even flying to Chicago was a lot. And then going, I was like, how can I be everywhere at once and bring people together? And so Hot Diabetic Club started to grow, and we started to have members all over the US. And now we're bringing in our current members to host events in their local area. So that's kind of how we've had this evolution of Hot Diabetic Club so we can reach more people who feel the same way about their diabetes.
I love this so much, especially because I like what you said, how you're getting together with like-minded people because we are people. A lot of times we're like, oh, I'm a diabetic, which I say it all the time. But I'm like, wait a second, I'm actually a person that just like happens to have diabetes. Like I have a whole side of me that has nothing to do with diabetes, even though it feels like it's so heavy on us because we think about it 24/7. But I love that you said that. You're connecting with just other girls that are super fun and you're just all having fun, but you all happen to have diabetes.
Yes, absolutely. And it's the same way you would network with other business owners or other creatives or other people in your industry. We are now networking with people who are high achieving but also have diabetes who so then understand the nuances of what it's like to try to like play in the same field as people who are also high achieving but don't have diabetes. And that's the really cool part.
And I know you just got back from an event, so tell me more about this event that you just got back from.
Yes, so we just got back from the Hot Diabetic Retreat. We called this one 2.0. This was our second retreat this year and second in existence ever. We decided to take 5 nights in Mexico, right outside of Cancun. And we all came together to do very deep identity work. And the goal of going on this trip was to continue to work on yourself to be a person who is high achieving, who reaches their goals, who is well rounded, and also connects with other people who have diabetes. And so while we did a lot of very deep identity work, while we were there. It was about 2 days. We went day one, identity work, day two, play, day three, identity work, day four, play. It was really great. And so we're on this resort. There was 13 of us diabetics, and we were just having fun and supporting each other through some of the hard parts, some of the sticky parts, and excelling towards our dreams. And so that was truly one of the best experiences I have ever been a part of, and I had the honor to lead.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was going to say, did you do this all by yourself? You ran it all by yourself?
I had a team member come, my retreat assistant. She came, and my husband is actually a video editor and creative as well. We have a video agency, and so he did all of the content for us while we were there. So he's the reason why everyone's seeing all these beautiful videos. But yes, it was me and my team member Carson. She's absolutely incredible, also a diabetic. So yeah, but we had amazing support from the property that we were on. The staff there was incredible.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Especially because, like, did you have like medical support too? That if, if somebody were to have an issue, I don't know if this came up for you, but like being in Mexico, was the resort super helpful with that?
Yeah, so we were near local hospital if needed. We didn't, of course. And then all of the women brought their supplies, their backup supplies, and we had years and years of
Mhm.
diabetes knowledge there. And so if any, it was funny, there was one moment we're all sitting around very casually, just like having a mastermind type of session where we're talking about life and our goals. And one of the girls who's speaking, she's like, I'm actually low, but I'm kind of sick of my low snacks. Do you guys have any? And everyone pulls out their low snacks and they're shaking them at her. And we were just making like a funny little bit about it, like, take mine, no, take mine. But it was just so wonderful that there was like you look around, there's a surplus of low snacks to choose from. And yeah, so we were all really supportive. We didn't focus on any technical diabetes management while we were there. We did have one woman come. She is a diabetes health educator, I believe but she led us in one of the sessions because we went into a sweat lodge. And so she was helping us prepare for what ifs
Mm.
during being in that time, and that was really wonderful, but we really didn't dive too much into management. It was mainly all identity work.
Which I think is actually really nice because we all already deal with diabetes all the time. It's like, while that information is so helpful, of course, like especially if you're newer on the diabetes side, that stuff is so great to have resources. But then sometimes you do just need to step away, do that, especially the deeper work inside as well.
Yeah, and that's a part of, so we have a few different sections inside of Hot Diabetic Club. We have the club, which is our community base. That is free access to everyone, local meetups. Um, Sometimes we'll do occasional virtual meetups as well. And then we also have like a community chat in there. So anyone can join that for free. But then we have the headquarters inside of Hot Diabetic Club, and that's where we have resources on how to do that identity work, deeper chats, conversations. And that's where you go if you really want to continue your journey in your identity and just kind of that high achieving diabetic projection, I guess, the way you want to go in that journey. And so that's where that like deepening into that hot diabetic self, so important and a huge part of my journey, which is why I knew I spent years trying to find this information, tons of therapy, tons of studies, reading textbooks on really kind of unlearning some behaviors and habits and things like that and building it back up. And I didn't want diabetics to have to spend years solo searching. And so that's what the headquarters does. It really allows people to have those resources so you can decide that you're that diabetic, the one that has everything that they want.
That's amazing. And can anyone attend the retreat, or do you have to be part of the
Yeah,
headquarters?
anyone can attend retreats. Our headquarters members get access first, and then we open it up to the club, and then we share it on social media. So, but anyone can join. It is application based just to make sure that the group jives, everyone is there for the right reasons, and that we all believe in the mission of living our best lives. But yes, it is open to everyone.
Okay, that's so great. I absolutely love that. So, when you were going through your like 6 year journey, what do you think like afterwards when you actually like figured yourself out? Like, what do you think was like the most important thing to you in that moment?
Community. Community changed everything for me.
Mhm.
I could do all the therapy, read all the self-help books on my own, and I did. And it wasn't until I connected with other diabetics beyond a surface level, beyond just in Instagram comments and DMs, really in-person connections. That's what changed things for me.
So, what would you say to somebody who maybe lives like in the country, maybe kind of in the middle of nowhere and doesn't know any other diabetics near them? Like, what should they do?
Yeah, I would get in online groups. And that's part of why we have the club inside of Hot Diabetic Club. Even in the headquarters, we have virtual meetups every month. And there are some people who are like, I actually do live in the middle of nowhere. And we are like, they still look at the people in their headquarters as some of their best diabetic friends because we meet regularly and we talk about deep things and truly connect. But you don't even have to join Hot Diabetic Club to make those connections. There's a ton of resources, and that's what is really great about the diabetic community as well.
And they can always go to retreats in Mexico, right?
Yes. Yes. And so in 2026, I think Mexico was our big retreat. And in 2026, we are working on bringing smaller weekend trips so we can bring more people together. We want it to be, I'm sure you can imagine, 5 days in Mexico is an investment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we're looking to make it more accessible to people. And we're exploring some weekend trips. One is in February. That's a little, nobody knows about that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have one coming up in February, and that's going to be like a 3-day trip or so. And so we're looking to really make it more accessible to everyone.
Okay, that's awesome. I love that so much. And I'm assuming obviously the person pays for the trips themselves, everything.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, we are member funded.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what would you say is like a one of your most memorable moments from one of these retreats or get-togethers, or even if it was like online?
Yeah, it's truly hard to choose, but I think every time I watch someone kind of have this like aha moment with their lives. So we talk about a lot about the values of a hot diabetic and kind of the way we want to live our lives. We talk about like even the 5 pillars of life, which is a basic therapy practice where you go through and you audit your life. And then when you see the overlap of what you're doing and something that happened in Mexico that I truly loved was we were working with one woman and she was going through these things, and then someone says to her, "Hey, but you already do that, and you just told us you're already that person."
Mhm.
And she was like, "Oh my gosh, yes." And sometimes we just need those things reflected back to us, and having a peer do it, really, truly magical moment for me, and just being able to watch that
Mhm.
unfold.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And for them, I'm sure it's like that final aha moment that they've been waiting for, I'm sure, for so long. It's like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. And then also to not have like the judgment maybe of a person that doesn't have diabetes, we tend to get just natural judgments because they're unaware of diabetes and what it all entails. But it's nice to also have like a community there that's like, I understand everything that you're going through.
Yes, exactly. And I think also the opposite though, because it kind of gives you the permission slip. Like, oh, if she's a diabetic and she can do it, so can I. And that's what I tell everyone. I'm I'm not special in the way that things have happened for me, the same way they can happen for you. Yes, I'm a special human being, but there's nothing unique about what I'm doing that you can't do as well. And so having that permission slip, I think watching another diabetic do it, yes, you can do it too. And that is so powerful.
Hmm. Is it a lot of times around like A1C type of numbers, or is it more all, or maybe both, but also around like just wearing your devices in public?
Yeah, it's kind of everything, but even beyond that, because I think a lot of us find like, okay, yeah, I've made peace with showing my devices, and it does take a while to get there. But then when you get there, it's like, oh, but I'm actually miserable in my career. I want to take this leap. I'm not sure if I can because everyone's told me I shouldn't. Everyone's told me it's too risky. And that's kind of, we're at that phase where we're breaking those things down. Like, okay, well, is this something you truly want to do? Go do it. You will figure it out.
So you're diving a lot deeper than just diabetes. You're diving into like real personal things.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Life
That's
beyond diabetes.
Yes, that's so great. I love that so much. So what's next on your agenda for Hot Diabetic Club? I know you're doing like retreats and events, but like what's your biggest vision? Like where do you want to take this?
Yeah. Something really cool off the back end of the retreat is that we've had insane growth in our community. I believe 200 members have joined in the last 5 days, which I
Wow.
cannot, yes, it took us a year and a half to get to 100 members. And in the last 5 days, we now have 300 plus members. And so I think part of being a business owner and running a business for diabetic people is making sure I'm tuned into what the community needs.
Hmm.
And so I'm at this really cool place where, okay, I know people are asking for more in-person events. We have our Trailblazers, which are going to be our local diabetics, hosting their events, bringing people together in local areas. We have our retreats, and just kind of making sure that we have the resources for all diabetics to come in and live that life beyond diabetes. That's what I'm looking at now. How can we really bring Hot Diabetic Club and the Hot Diabetic mindset as a global movement?
I love that. Is there a certain age range or can it be literally anybody? And it's only
Um,
female, correct?
We, inside the club, inside our online community, we have men and women. So anyone can join as long as you're over 18.
Hmm.
Just what we have the capacity to support people on right now. And then currently our trips are women only, but we're definitely open to co-ed or maybe teaming up with someone who can lead men through this experience.
Hmm.
So nothing is off the table right now. And we really want to make sure that we know there's this gap in the diabetic community and the way we come together and how we look at life. And my biggest goal is to help people continue to live.
Well, how do people get in touch with you? If people want to join this club, how do they do it?
I'm on social media. My handle is Rage Bolus Babe. So if anyone wants to send me a message there, you can. Hot Diabetic Club also has socials on Instagram and TikTok. We're at Hot Diabetic Club. And then all of our links are, well, I can give you the link to have people join the membership if they want, either the free or our headquarters. But you can easily access me on social media. I'm probably on it a little bit too much.
So your social media, I have to ask, are you a big rage boluser?
I used to be. I used to be. Yes. And so back in 2020 when I started creating, that's what yeah, that one really resonated. Not so much anymore, but it's like the cutest name ever. I love it so much. I have an emotional attachment to it. So I'll probably be that until they yank it from my cold dead hands.
I love it. It is a great name. And it's funny because I would say I'm a little bit of a rage boluser. I try not to be, but it's really hard sometimes.
It
So I love
is.
the name. It's
Thank you
very
so
fitting.
much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, any last comments that you want to share with the audience?
I think my biggest takeaway that I hope people bring home with them and into their day-to-day lives is that you can, as a diabetic, truly live and you can, whatever that looks like to you, like the world is limitless. And that's really what I want diabetics to know and live and feel deep in their soul.
Perfectly said. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so wonderful.
Yes, thank you. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode with Tini. She's awesome, isn't she? Go check out hotdiabeticclub.com for more information on her club that is for all of us because we're all hot diabetics. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you all next week.